युहुन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचं मां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः अन्या भक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चापि वृथा नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ईशावस्यमिदं समस्तभुवनं त्यक्त्वार्थगेहादिकं ब्रह्मण्येव मुमुक्षुणा नवरतं निष्ठाविधेयात्मनि अर्हत्वाय च तत्र कर्मविहितं कार्यं पुरा निष्फलम् विद्वानित्थमुपाचरन् हि भजते निर्लेप आत्मेश्वरम् भिन्नोऽस्माद्विषयाशयोऽन्धतमसः लोकान् प्रयात्यात्मः संसारं यदविद्यया कलयते स्वात्मन्ययं ह्यात्मः तत्त्वं निश्चलमात्मनो विजवद् चित्ताद्वतातीन्द्रियं सर्वव्याप्यपविक्रियं रविमरुद्वह्न्यादिचेष्टादधत् नेदीयो विदुषां भात्यविदुषां दूरस्थवद्यत्पुनः सर्वान्तर्बहिरास्थितं तदयते भूतेषु सर्वेषु यः भूतान्यात्मनि तत्र पश्यति च यः भूतानि यस्याप्यसौ आत्मैवास्ति यदा तदास्य विदुषः कशोकमोहोदयः आत्मासौ विभुरभ्रवत्प्रविमलः भास्वानलिङ्गोतनुः शुद्धो पापहतः प्रभुः सकल मुक्तो मनीषी ध्रुवः सर्वेषां परिभूस्वभूः सममयः संवत्सराख्यप्रजानाथेभ्यो विदधद्यथोचितमिमान् अर्थान् समीष्टे स्वयम् आत्मानं य उपासते दधति ते आत्मानं य उपासते दधति ते स्वाभाविकीं ब्रह्मतां रिपीट आत्मानं य उपासते दधति ते स्वाभाविकीं ब्रह्मतां कार्यं ब्रह्म तु ये भजन्ति तैमे कार्यं ब्रह्म तु ये भजन्ति तैमे कार्यं ब्रह्म तु ये भजन्ति तैमे हैरण्यगर्भं पदम् हैरण्यगर्भं पदम् हैरण्यगर्भं पदम् ये विद्यां समुपासते मलदृशः ये विद्यां समुपासते मलदृशः ये विद्यां समुपासते मलदृशः गच्छन्ति तेऽन्धं तमः गच्छन्ति तेऽन्धं तमः गच्छन्ति तेऽन्धं तमः देवादीनपि यान्ति हन्तकुधियः देवादीनपि यान्ति हन्तकुधियः देवादीनपि यान्ति हन्तकुधियः देवादिपूजापराः देवादिपूजापराः देवादिपूजापराः. In the previous class, I was trying to provide you the essence of what was given by Bhagavad Pada as an introduction to mantras starting with number 9 in the Ishavasya Upanishad. So there we find the words Vidya and Avidya employed. So there were a couple of mails also sent to me a little later after attending the class that the concept that was explained wasn't very clear to them, because the word Vidya and Avidya have been employed in a different sense, but normally we understand that to be in a different sense. So there has to be a conceptual clarity as to what sense it is used in general and what sense it has been employed in this mantra, which is what has compelled Bhagavad Pada to write an elaborate commentary on that, right? Introductory remarks. In fact, at the end of the last class, there was some discussion wherein, so one of the participants was quoting how this mantra has been translated by Max Muller. And then, so Justice Sri Krishna, so he just quoted a sentence from Bhagavad Pada's Bhashya. What is Asampradayavit murkhavadupekshaniyah. Asam tasmat. So there is a detailed discussion which goes on in Bhagavad Gita, and at the end of the commentary for that particular verse, so Bhagavad Pada concludes Tasmat asampradayavit sarvashastravidapi murkhavad upekshaniyah. So this is what was quoted by Bhagavad Pada. Sarvashastravidapi means he may be extremely proficient in different disciplines. For instance, there may be exceedingly brilliant scholars in Nyaya Shastra or Vyakarana Shastra for that matter, or both of them. There are many scholars even today. So some effort was launched a few years ago, and a few scholars have trained themselves in two disciplines, exceedingly doing well. And some of them are entering into the third discipline also. So there are, so Mimamsa also they want to enter. But this doesn't really help them to understand the intricacies of the words as employed in Vedanta. In fact, there is a remarkable scholar called Mahabaleshwara Bhatta of Vyakarana. He is in Sringeri now. Mostly he spends his time in Sringeri based on the instruction of Jagadguru. But he is now pursuing deeper studies in Advaita Vedanta. Now the terms which have been employed in Advaita Vedanta can be much better understood depending upon the background that he has. But unless he sees the commentary and tries to discuss with a well-trained scholar in Advaita Vedanta tradition, it may not be possible. So that is why Bhagavad Pada here says, Sarva Shastra Vidapi. So his interpretation, unless he is trained in this discipline, he should not be considered seriously. Murkhavadupekshaniyaha. He has to be sort of ignored. Now this was brought to the attention because the translations that are done by people who have absolutely no rooting in our culture. Okay. So what to say about those translations? That was the kind of lament. Now, let me tell you, there was a question which was posed by the students. I am unable to understand the concept of Vidya and Avidya, both leading one to darkness, which was explained in the last class on Vedanta Muktavali. The Devatatma Bhava attained through Upasana is stated to be resulting in Amritattva at the same time. So this is also there, right? Avidya mrityum tirtva vidya amrita mashnute. How do we understand all this is the question. Okay? So how do we understand? So it says, try to enlighten me. So dispel the ignorance. So I am going to make some efforts now to once again brief that and also introduce something else which is far more interesting. So which I discovered today. So I was trying to read some section of Bhagavad Pada's commentary, where he first defines what is avidya. Normally, in the context of Vedanta, Vidya and Avidya are understood to have very special connotation. So Avidya is defined by Bhagavad Pada as in Adhyasa Bhashya, Tametam evam lakshanam adhyasam panditaha avidyeti manyante. So these are sentences which we need to know. Tametam evam lakshanam adhyasam panditaha avidyeti manyante. Tad vivekena cha vastu swarupavadharanam vidyamahuhu. This is a very, very important sentence in the Adhyasa Bhashya. So having asked this question, what is Adhyasa, and then defined, he just gets into this. Tametam evam lakshanam adhyasam panditaha avidyeti manyante. So these phrases are extremely important. So conveying the importance of these phrases, Bhamatikara asks some questions and then he presents a far more engaging and brilliant discussion. I am just going to read a few sentences. I was quite, though I had read it long back, but I had forgotten. As I was reading today, I found it very, very interesting. So Bhamati Ikara asks, tam yetam means, what does it mean? That this. Tametam means, he was referring to something before, right? Now you see, Bhamati Kara introduces. This Adhyasa is described as Avidya. Understand? So, Tametam, so it is this Adhyasa which is being spoken as Avidya. I mean, it is generally translated as nescience. Avidya, Pandita, by Panditas. Okay? So, by Pandita means Pramana Kushalaha. Pandita essentially means Pramana Kushalaha in this context. So those who can handle various pramanas well. Okay. So those who have been very well trained in Pramana Shastra, plus of course Advaita Shastra. Tametam evam lakshanam. Evam lakshanam means this is the nature of this. So that was described before. Okay. Evam, I'll just come to that. Okay. Evam lakshanam adhyasam. This superimposition, which has a specific characteristic, has been described by learned scholars as avidya. So this superimposition has been described as avidya. Then he says, tad vivekena cha. vastu swarupavadharanam vidyamahu. So understanding the true nature is described as vidya. They say so. Okay. Vidyam ahu. So this is how scholars say so. So Bhagavad Pada was written a commentary on this Brahma Sutra. So he also writes here. That is why he writes a very elaborate introduction to introduce these verses, because these words avidya and vidya, though employed here, they do not mean the same thing as we find in Vedanta Shastra in general. Okay. Now, this Bhamatikara's few sentences are really very, very educated. He says, Nanu santicha sahasra madhyasaha. Aren't there thousands of superimpositions? Right? Nanu santicha sahasra madhyasaha. Tat kimartham ayameva adhyasaha akshepa samadhanabhyam vyutpaditaha. Why did Shankara take this particular adhyasa of an atma and anatma? Okay. So, tat kimartham ayameva adhyasaha akshepa samadhanabhyam means whether it is possible or not possible. So if you look at that adhyasa bhashya before, he will just initially argue that this adhyasa is not possible. Atma anatmanoha adhyasa is not possible. Akshepa samadhanabhyam vyutpaditaha means, so it has been made understood, okay, through some elaborate discussion. Na adhyasamatram, not in general, adhyasamatram ityataha aha tametam. Okay. Tametam evam lakshanam adhyasam panditaha avidyeti manyante. Now, having said that, he says, avidyahi sarvanarthabijamiti shruti smriti itihasa puranadishu prasiddham. Avidyahi sarvanarthabijam. Okay, so this has been spoken in various scriptures. Shruti, smriti, itihasa, puranadishu prasiddham, it is well known. Okay, anubhavenapi prasiddham. Okay, tametam sah prasiddham taduchedaya. So in order to sever that, taduchedaya, to thwart this. Okay, taduchedaya vedantaha pravrittaha iti vakshyati. Vakshyati means at the end of adhyasa bhashya, tasya anartha heto prahanaya atmikatva vidya pratipattaye sarve vedanta arabhyante. Something like that is the statement. See, tasya anartha heto prahanaya, in order to drop that. Okay, atmikatva vidya pratipattaye sarve vedanta. Okay, to understand the oneness of this Atma, to understand the oneness of this Atman, Atmikatva Vidya Pratipattaye Sarve Vedantaha Pravrittaha. So that is how Vedanta has come, the purpose of Vedanta. So that is what he hints. Taduchedaya Sarve Vedantaha Pravrittaha iti vakshyati. प्रत्यगात्मन्यनात्माध्यासयेव सर्वानर्थ हेतुः न पुनः रजतादि विभ्रमाः इति. Okay, so there are various kinds of adhyasas that we have in our day-to-day life, right? So you mistake something to be something, and then you, but this does not lead to a situation where you are permanently troubled. For a short while you may have adhyasa, somebody comes and educates you, gone, so you will get rid of that problem. But this is a perennial problem that you are having. So that's why he is saying, okay, pratyagatmanyanatmadhyasaha eva sarvanartha hetuhu na puna rajatadi vibhramaha iti sayeva avidya. Okay, that is what is to be understood as avidya. So this is a special term that is employed. So any general ignorance, I mean, you don't call it as avidya. So that is the point that he wants to drive in here. Okay. Tametamevam lakshanam. Okay. In the specific context, avidya tat svarupancha avijñatam nashakyam uchchetumiti. Unless you know clearly what avidya causes, what kind of avidya causes, so this sarvanartha, it is not possible to sever that. Understand? Tat svarupancha avijñatam. So you should know the strength of the enemy, what is the strategy that has been adopted by him for you to counter him. Right? Tat svarupancha avijñatam. Otherwise you will be in trouble. Tat svarupancha avijñatam nashakyam uchchetu. It is not possible. Iti tadeva vyutpadyam na adhyasamatram. Okay. So this specific adhyasa is what is to be addressed in Vedanta. Okay. Tadeva vyutpadyam na adhyasamatram. Now he says, atra cha evam lakshanam ityeva. अत्र च एवं लक्षणम् इत्येवं रूपतया अनर्थहेतुता उक्ता. See, तमेतम् एवं लक्षणम्. So yes, here he says, यस्मात् प्रत्यगात्मनि अशनायादि रहिते. You have to understand what is the nature of pratyagatman. So Shruti says, ashanayadi rahitaha, the one who is untouched by, okay, any kind of dukkha. Okay, ashanayadi rahite. On the other hand, asanayadyupeta antahkaranadyahita aropena. So some people have this kind of feeling that I am quite short. I have to show. So they wear some 4 inches, 5 inches heels. Okay. Some people have this feeling. So it has to do with buddhi dharma. Okay. But they superimpose this buddhi dharma upon oneself, and then they really trouble themselves. So you have this sharire adhyasa. Why are you touching me? Me na yadange. So me there means sharira. You understand? Why are you touching me means me is sharira. Okay. So this somebody addressing you, he's an angry man, terrible person. Okay, terribly angry. So buddhi dharma, tatkalika. Okay, the dharma of the buddhi is superimposed upon the person. So sometimes antahkaranadhyasaha, there are different kinds of adhyasas. This is what he is trying to refer to here. See, asanayadyupeta antahkaranadyahita aropena. Okay, this is superimposed. Either that entity is superimposed or the dharma of that entity is superimposed upon Atman. Pratyagatmanam adukham dukkha karoti. See, this is a special usage. See, so I was quite, dukkha karoti. Have you studied? You have heard dukhi karoti. We have 3 forms. Dukkham karoti, dukhi karoti, and dukkha karoti. We should know the distinction. This is a very, very interesting thing. See, I will spend a few minutes on this. See, so if not to this audience, to which audience can I share this with? Now you see this dukkha karoti. So this Vamatikara uses. Where does he use? Be carefully, we have to watch. Pratyagatmanam adukham dukkha karoti tasmat anartha hetu. So this Pratyagatma, the self, what is his nature? Adukhak. Okay. So he describes now Adukham Atmanam Dukha Karoti. What does this? This avidya. Understand? So this avidya, okay, this avidya, Adukham Pratyagatmanam Dukha Karoti. So what is the speciality here? There is a sutra in Panini Ashtadhyayi, Dukhat Pratilomye is the sutra. Repeat.
Dukhat pratilomye, dukhat pratilomye.
There is a sutra before this. This is basically 5464. Okay. Then 5463, another interesting. Sukha Priyadanulomye. Repeat. Sukha Priyadanulomye. Sukha Priyadanulomye. There is a suffix called dach. Okay. So when is the dach to be employed? If you want to convey a specific idea, you use this dach. So it is only under these instances you can use this dukha karoti. So when should you use dukham karoti? When should you use dukhi karoti? When should you use dukha karoti? So this is a very interesting thing. Okay. Now this sukha karoti also you can say. In fact, priya karoti you can say. So that is what the sutra says. Sukha priyadanulomye. Okay. Let me give you one or two examples and explain this a little bit. Okay. So sukhi karoti, dukhi karoti is also okay. There is a different suffix which is called chvi. When will you use chvi? Abhuta tadbhave chvi. Abhuta tadbhave chvef prayogaha. In fact, the sutra is this. You learn that sutra itself. See. Abhuta tadbhave.
Abhuta tadbhave, abhuta tadbhave.
Kribhvasti yoge.
Kribhvasti yoge.
Kribhvasti yoge. Sampadya kartari chvihi. Sampadya kartari chvihi. Sampadya kartari chvihi. Sampadya kartari chvihi. See, abhuta, say, I'll just give you a very simple example. This will be useful to understand this dukha karoti better. See, suppose you have a pot. So what is done is, I have seen in the roadside, many of you would have seen, they will be applying something, okay, and make the pot white pot. See, so shukli karoti is what you have to say. Ghatam shukli karoti. Okay. This shukli karoti means, so that which was not shukla has been made shukla. Okay. Shukli karoti. Abhuta tadbhave. Okay. Shvef prayoga. Ashuklam shuklam karoti means shukli karoti. Okay. This is how we understand. This is chvi. So here the dach is used. When is dach to be employed? So here in this sutra it says when three verbs are used. Kribhvasti yoge. Kr, bhu and asu. Okay. Kribhvasti yoge. Sampadya kartari means that actually which makes this. Okay. Kartari chvihi. That is why shukli. Okay. Now let us come to this. So here sukha priyad anulomye. So this dot should come from the previous sutras. Okay, anulomye. What does it mean? It actually means, I'll just read, this is a beautiful explanation that you find in Kashika. Sukhapriya Shabdabhyam Anulomye Vartamanabhyam Krinyaha Yoge. Krinyaha Yoge means when you have the word kr. This kr means karoti. When you use that. Krinyaha Yoge. Okay. Dukring karani. See, Krinyaha Yoge. Dach pratyayo bhavati. What does this mean? Sukhapriya Shabdabhyam. So this is a usage. So after Sukha and Priya, Anulomye Vartamanabhyam. Okay. So under the instance of Anulomya. What is Anulomya? We will explain in a minute. Okay. Krinyaha Yoge. When you add kr, Dach pratyayo bhavati. What is Anulomyam? He says, Anulomyam anukulata. Okay. So obviously pratilomyam is pratikulata. Okay. Anulomyam anukulata. Okay. Anukulata. Further he elaborates, Aradhya chittanuvartanam. See, this is a very interesting thing. Chitta anuvartanam means you closely follow the thoughts of the others and channelize your activities so that it is in tune with the others, so not to hurt them. Understand? Chittanuvartanam means it is not merely, okay, so doing what they say, but conducting yourself in such a manner that is very anukulama ametu. That is what we generally say, even when we bless others. So anukula means so that your sentiments are never ever hurt. So patni anukulama irkala. So this is a phrase that we use. See, is your wife anukula? Is what they say. Anukula essentially means chittanuvartanam. Does the mind go together? That is what it essentially means. Not that, I mean, once you serve some coffee or do something. You understand? See, Anukula has a much larger connotation. So, Chittanuvartanam. See, do both of them think alike? Okay. So, this is what he means by. Okay. Sukha karoti should be used only under those circumstances. So I'll give you a counter example, so then we will easily understand. Okay, so what does this anukulya means? This means aradhya chittanuvartanam. Aradhya means some entity. Tat chitta anuvartanam. Okay, so going. So then you use the word sukha karoti, priya karoti, and then he gives an example. Swamyadehe chittam aradhayati tyarthaha. Generally, Swamyadehe. Swami means your Lord. There is a servant whom you have employed. He does certain things. So all his activities are oriented towards pleasing him. Not a particular activity. Swamyadehe. Swami Adi. Swamyadehe chittam aradhayati. Aradhayati tyarthaha. Now he says sukham priyam va kurvan api anulomye avasthitaha evam uchyate anulomye iti kim. So for that he says sukham karoti priyam karoti aushadhapanam. You understand? So you take some medicine, you should not say this medicine sukha karoti. You should only say sukham karoti. It has nothing to do with the chitta activity. So it is a conscious activity on the part of the person who wants to see that you are never ever hurt. So then you use sukha karoti. You understand? See, so sukham karoti means, so you had some problem, so you had some dysentery, you took some medicine. Okay, so you are relieved of that. You had some fever, you took some medicine, you are relieved. So sukham karoti, it is not sukha karoti. Okay, so that is why he is saying anukulye. See, anulomyam is anukulyam. Anukulyam means chittanuvartanam. Okay, so there, see, the example is sukham karoti, priyam karoti, aushadhapanam. Okay, now let us come to the dukkha aspect. See, huh? Wait. See, dukkhat pratilomye. Okay, so here the Bhamatikara has used dukkham, adukham dukkha karoti. So here chittanuvartanam, so is the aspect. So it is actually the opposite of that. Okay, so here he says, see, दुःख शब्दात् प्रातिपदिकात् प्रातिलोम्ये गम्यमाने, okay, डाच् प्रत्ययो भवति when कृञः योगे. This is the condition. प्रातिकूल्यं प्रतिकूलता. So explanation is स्वाम्यादेः चित्तपीडनम. So there chitta aradhanam, here it is chitta peedanam. Okay, chittanuvartanam. Okay, so chitta peedanam. So dukkha karoti bhrityaha. So the servant. So many a times this happens, right? So he does not understand. Okay, every time you have to explain. My mother, sometimes she laments. எத்தனை தடவை தான் சொல்றது? How many times shall I explain? Okay, so this is dukkha karoti. There is a lady. So this lady's mother worked in our house some 35-40 years ago. This lady all of a sudden will come and visit our house. Okay, and she will stay. So she has her own mind. She is a very honest person. So no cheating, nothing. Okay, but she has her own mind. Whatever you say, she will do whatever she wants to do. Okay, so but we don't feel like sending out. But this is what dukkha karoti, my mother. So she will keep saying. So sometimes she will shout at her also. But then whatever you do, she will not shout back. She will just listen quietly. And she will do what she has to do. So that is the way her mind works. You understand? So this is a good example of dukkha karoti. So pratikula. Okay. Now the point is, so now we have to understand here in this context. See here, this Bhamatikara says, Pratyagatmanam adukham dukkha karoti, means, so the nature, this is acting, this avidya is perennially acting. You understand? So perennially it is pratikula. Okay, so you have to convey that. Okay, in order to do that, he is using this. Okay, so adukham dukkha karoti tasmat anartha hetu. Okay, now having said this, so I want to come to this mantra once again. So here the vidya and avidya which we spoke have nothing to do with the vidya and avidya which is appearing in this mantra. Vidyancha yastadvedo bhayagn saha avidyaya mrityunti yatva vidyaya mritamashnuti. If you look at, so in this shloka also later, ye avidyam samupasate maladrishaha gachanti tendham tamaha. Okay. So in order to explain this, Bhagavad Pada started by saying the word avidya has to be derived in this particular way, in this context. How is it to be derived? So tamedam evam lakshanam adhyasam pandita avidyeti manyante is not the meaning which has to be taken here. Okay? But what is to be taken? He says, so you have to understand the nanya which is there as anya bodhaka. Okay, so avidya is to be taken as vidyayaha anya avidya. Okay, vidyayaha anya avidya. So vidyayaha anya. See, in fact, the Nanya also has been extremely careful by giving a longish introduction plus this. So this vidyayaha anya. So Nanyartha can be anything. It is not vidya virodhi. So the way avidya is to be understood as, normally vidya is avidya virodhi. Atmanatmanoho bheda agraha avidya. Atmanatmanoho bhedagrahena agraha nashyate. So there it is a virodha. So here this vidya and avidya are not in virodha. Okay, we have to first of all understand that clearly. That is why in the third mantra, vidyancha vidyancha yastadvedo bhajag saha avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya mrita mashnute. That is why it comes. So here avidya should be taken as karma. And what kind of karma? So there also we have to be very, very carefully understanding the term. It is not that any kind of activity which is being referred to as karma here, but agnihotradi karma, which means shastra vihitam karma. Okay, so the shastra vihitam karma is what is referred to as avidya here. In fact, even the shastra vihitam karma, so you can sort of imply through the avidya there, but it is different. So in fact, why? So in fact, if you look at this Adhyasa Bhashya itself, they will say tametam avidyakhyam atmanatmanoho iteretara adhyasam puraskritya sarve pramana prameya vyavaharaha laukika vaidikascha pravrittaha sarvani cha shastrani vidhi pratishedha moksha parani. This is a very, very important statement. But the point there is, this Atmanatmanoho Adhyasaha, that is there for every activity. But here, a specific activity is what is being referred to as avidya. Okay? Presupposition of this avidya is necessary. Atmanatmanoho viveka agraha. Okay? Bheda agraha is necessary. But Bheda Graha, so is virodhi of Bheda Agraha. That is very clear. Okay. Now, here this avidya is defined as avidyam agnihotradi lakshanameva kevalam upasate. What is this upasana? That also has to be understood. So this Upasanam has actually three meanings, but so this one is Sevanam, the other is Mananam. So Sevanam means practicing. Mananam is at the level of thought. Okay. So Upasate means you take a particular thought and keep on contemplating upon that. That is also Upasana. So here, this activity, Agnihotradi, etc., cannot be performed at the thought level. So Upasanam here means Sevanam, executing those activities. Okay? Ye avidyam upasate means Sevante. Okay? So this has to be clearly understood. Upasanam can mean mere mental activity. So it can also refer to, in fact, there are very many usages which you will find in scriptures. So prayaschittam upasate, they will say, means he executes prayaschittam. Okay. So this upasate means, so tatparaha santaha. In fact, see, Bhashyakara himself says, anutishtanti tyabhiprayaha. Understand? Anutishtanti means they perform. Okay? Here avidya is referring to Agnihotradi Shastra Vihitam Karma. So, ye avidyam upasate means those who execute those activities, injunctions which have been stated in the Vedas. Okay? Andhantamah pravishanti. Then one can ask this question: how is it possible that they andhantamah pravishanti? Okay? So this is the question. So that seems to be bothering some of us. Andhantamah pravishanti. Why is he calling so? And further he says, tato bhuya ivate tamoyavu vidyaya agrataha. And those people, okay, bhuya ivate tamaha. So they enter into greater darkness. Who yavu vidyayam rataha. Rataha is also very important. Okay, they do not come out of that. Okay, so some devatopasana they want to do. So you understand this clearly. Why is he saying so? So some devatopasana, etc., you do. So depending upon what you want to do, okay, so you will be classified. See, there are some people who use, see this, even this Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, etc. They all did this upasana. What did they do? This devatopasana. This vidya which is being referred to, you understand, this vidya. So you do some upasana and you want to gain some power through that upasana and you want to use it for some purpose. Okay? It is not that Agnihotra, the Shastra Vihitam Karma. So there may be certain activities, but they do this upasana. So devatopasana in order to gain some power. How you use that power, etc., depends upon, see, the motivation with which you get into and so on. So, avidyam upasate tato bhuya ivate tamaha yabu vidyayam rataha. So, both of them, these both vidya and avidya which are referred to here, will lead you to some result which does not give you atyantika dukkha nivritti. So it is in this sense they are described as andhantamah pravishanti. So this has to be understood. You may achieve some result, you may achieve some power, you may want to use it for some reason, okay, but then this does not lead you to atyantika dukkha nivritti. You may gain some power, you may gain some positions. Okay, so since it does not lead you to, and then vidyancha avidyancha yastadveda ubhayam saha avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashnute. Okay, this is the third mantra. So what does it say? So it essentially tells you, see, vidyancha avidyancha yastadveda ubhayam saha ekena purushena anushteyam veda. Okay, so those who do this, samuchaya karinaha, see, those who do together, avidyaya, once again he reminds us, karmana. What kind of karma? Agnihotradina Shastra Vihitam Karma. Tena, by that, mrityum tirtva. So mrityu, how do you understand that? So here he says, svabhavikam karma jnanacha mrityu shabdavachyam. Understand? Svabhavikam karma jnanancha. See, this, what is being spoken of by the avidya shabda is Shastra Vihitam Karma. So, Swabhavikam Karma is Yatheshta Charitvam. Say, drinking, marrying, and so on and so on. Okay? Swabhavikam Karma, which is natural to you. The tendencies, the very natural tendencies. See, that is Mrityu Shabda Vachyam, as it leads to. Okay? So the point here is, sometimes in Shastra, you will see a particular word employed which may mean the phala of that activity, but you use that to refer to the karana of that also. Okay? So phala shabdaha karanepi kadachid upayujyate. Okay? So here, so that is how he is trying to explain. Swabhavikam karma jnanancha mrityu shabda vachyam tadubhayam tirtva. What does it mean? If you perform Shastra Vihitam Karma, so then you will be able to save yourself from getting to that Mrityu. Understand? So if you discipline yourself to do Shastra Vihitam Karma, then you are able to save yourself from that Mrityu. What is that Mrityu? Engaging yourself as you like. Okay? So that has the potentiality to lead you to Mrityu, and therefore, okay? So Swabhavikam karma jnanacha mrityu shabda vachyam tadubhayam tirtva means Swabhavikam karma jnanancha tirtva atikramya, then vidyaya devata jnanena amritam ashnute. This amritam you should understand not as atyantika amritam, but something which is far higher. Okay? So something which is far higher. So there was a Hanumad Upasaka. I remember almost 40-45 years ago, I used to see him. He will come and stay in Sanskrit college. So that is just like that in those days. All kinds of people used to come and stay. He was a real Hanuman Upasaka. And sometimes he will just show. And he has been invited to various places to perform some miracles also. So this person used to do. So why I am saying is, if you do that Upasana, so repeatedly, so tadbhavaha tadbhavati. So this is what he means by vidyaya amritam ashnute. Amritam here means devatatma bhavam. You acquire certain powers, certain qualities through that upasana. This is what is meant by devatatma bhavam. So what is it that you do? Okay, and which devata do you pray? Okay, meditate upon. So those kinds of powers will be acquired by you. Okay, so tadamar see. So amritam devatatma bhavam ashnute prapnoti. Tadhi amritam uchyate yad devatatma gamanam. So here, so this is like this. I will give you a very simple example to understand this. Why is this called amritama? Okay. So which will you call as comfort? Suppose I ask you. So earlier we used to, I can tell you my own example. Okay. So we used to, when we want to go to our village, 40 years ago, 45 years ago. So you go to some town and then you try to hire some bullock cart. Okay, and then you go to this village. Sometimes you get some bullock cart which does not have even the shock absorber. Okay, so your back will be gone. So you go in that bullock cart, so about 5-6 kilometers. So 7 kilometers you may have to go. So when I used to go there, this bullock cart, which we went, single bullock will be there, and we have to go by that. From the village, there was a neighbor who was a very, very rich landlord. He had a very highly, beautifully lubricated, so a bullock cart, which had all the shock absorbers. and that will be carried by 2 bullocks. I distinctly remember this. So we will request him to hire that, okay, to give us rather, to go to some 20 kilometers we may have to go, some Kuladevata, etc. So when we traveled in that bullock cart, that was a big, huge comfort compared to this bullock cart which we hired to go from the bus station to our village. So this bullock cart was a luxury, okay, and comfort. Now after a few years, couple of decades, we had this taxi. So that ambassador, so it may be very old ambassador, but that was far more comfortable than this bullock cart. Okay. So my father used to say, what a great relief. Okay. So now, so this first bullock cart, second bullock cart, ambassador. Okay. So these are all grades of Amritatvam. Understand? Okay. So now, so sometimes, okay, I go to Singapore. So somebody will come. Okay. So in some big, fantastic one of the BMW cars, let us say. In US somebody takes BMW car. So compared to this ambassador, that is Amritatvam. You understand? So what a comfort. So you don't know that you are actually going. So this Amritatvam that is being talked about is Apekshikam Amritatvam. So that is why he is repeatedly saying Devatatma Bhavam. Okay? So you acquire some powers and thereby you are able to feel much better. Okay? So you are able to, so these are all not the Atyantika Amritatvam that is being spoken in Vedanta through the Atma Jnana. Okay? Vidyaya Amritatvam. So here means this Devatopasanaya Devatatma Bhavam. So that is why Bhagavad Pada very carefully he tries to explain these two verses. In fact, I must tell you there is a very interesting thing. So today, incidentally, somebody sent some link, and I have to tell you that this mantra has been used by our government officials. I think I made a screenshot. Let me see. This mantra has been used in their website. Which mantra? See, Avidya Mrityun Tirtva Vidya Amritatvam. Okay. So now, where is the I'll tell you. So this Hindi translation. Vidyancha avidyancha yastadvedo bhayam saha avidya mrityam tirtva vidya amritam ashnati. Yajurveda 40:14. It is also wrong. 40 is correct, but 14 is correct. This is 11th mantra. Anyway, so that is one thing. Okay. They have put 40:14. Then what is the translation? प्रत्येक मनुष्य को विद्या, okay, bracket, अध्यात्म ज्ञान. Understand? So this is Max Muller Prabhava, maybe. So real knowledge. You understand? See. So प्रत्येक मनुष्य को विद्या, अध्यात्म ज्ञान एवं अविद्या, भौतिक ज्ञान को जानना चाहिए. जानना चाहिए. ओके. प्रत्येक मनुष्य को विद्या, अध्यात्म ज्ञान एवं अविद्या, भौतिक ज्ञान को जानना चाहिए. अविद्या से मृत्यु आदि लौकिक दुखों से तरके विद्या से उस अमृतत्व को प्राप्त करते हैं. He says avidya se, so through this avidya, okay, so you will be able to cross over what? Mrityu adi laukika dukkhon se. Through the laukika dukha you will cross over. तरके विद्या से उस अमृतत्व को प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. उस अमृतत्व मीन्स दट अमृतत्व. which is spoken of in the Upanishads. So Adhyatma Jnana. So this is not. See, if we interpret, so why did Acharya take so much of pains to give this long introduction? How will he then explain the two mantras before? Andhantama pravishanti. So you have to present an introduction so that people do not get confused. So he has done that. Then at the mantra level also he gives the derivation, how you can understand through avidya karma, and what kind of interpretation will be providing you a certain consistent framework to understand. See, otherwise there will be contradiction. Okay, so this is something which we need to understand. So this is actually Bharatiya Jnana Parampara. Okay, so a small thing has been created by ministry. So sometimes it's a little disturbing that they try to engage people who cannot give the right information to them. Okay, so this is a problem. So today, incidentally, I saw. So this kind of a translation which is provided there. So this should not be done. I mean, they can speak, okay, but they cannot take a scripture and then try to interpret as they like. See, that is a problem. You can share your ideas, that is all fine. Or, I mean, you will find several other verses. But taking this Upanishad mantra and then trying to interpret the way you want to interpret, yeah, nahi hota. Okay. Anyway, so we will take up this verse, and this will be much simpler, in fact. Okay, hereafter. So this he has actually condensed it, and all the three mantras plus three more mantras he has swallowed in this. Okay. So that's Ramaraya. So we will take up that in the next class. So since there were a few questions in the previous class, and I was also excited when I read this, Dukha Karoti. So I thought I will share that with you. Okay, we'll stop here. Om Sarve Pasukhinas Santu, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om